Hello friends, I am Dr. Poonam Mehra, Sikka. I joined the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology immediately after completing my MSc Physics from the University of Pune. I joined the institute on September 28, 1980 as what was then known as Scientific Assistant in the Physical Meteorology and Aerology Division, PMA Division. I have had the good fortune of working with Dr. A. Mary Selvam right from day one. Dr. A. Mary Selvam is a scientist of great national and international repute. She has such wide and vast knowledge of the various fields of physical meteorology and aerology. She is a diminutive, quiet person, very humble, but a colossal as far as her scientific knowledge is concerned. She used to explain things to us so quietly, simply, and would give all of us junior scientists a lot of encouragement and motivation. Always she was ready to listen to our analysis and suggestions and would point out our mistakes in such an unobtrusive manner, as if we were just equals sitting having a friendly discussion. 1980, India had witnessed the total solar eclipse, and many scientists from PMA division had gone to Raichur to collect various types of data, among which there was this total ozone data measurements also which were taken. My first project that was assigned to me was the analysis of this data, the total ozone data which was collected on, before and after the date of this total solar eclipse. After that, after the studies were completed, a paper was published on the results and my name was included in the paper, though I had done just the mathematical calculations and the graphs. Dr. A.S.R. Murthy, our HOD, was an extremely motivating scientist who would carry the entire team with him, giving credit to everybody who was involved in whichever project they were working. The entire PMA scientists, juniors and seniors, were involved in the artificial rain-making cloud seeding experiment, which was a 10-year project which had been given to PMA division. Those were real exciting times, and the entire monsoon season would go in all that excitement as we would take flights through those rain-laden clouds, thick clouds which were not raining at times, going through and experiencing heavy turbulence. All in all, they were very exciting and adventurous times. There was such a tremendous camaraderie and team spirit in the entire PMA division. In those days, PMA division worked out of the Agrimet building in the IMD premises. The admin office of IITM, the director's office, as well as the computer division, they were all located in the next door Ramdurg house. And the FRD division used to work from a building on Ganeshkin Road. I'm forgetting the name of the building. In 1982, IITM finally decided to move to the new premises, the new existing premises of IITM. And PMA division was among the first divisions to be moved to the new premises. In those days, there was no proper drinking water facilities in this building. There was no canteen on the premises. The drinking water would be brought in huge cans which were filled up at Ramdurg house and brought by jeeps. But all in all, it was exciting setting up our offices in the new premises which belonged to IITM. In the days when I joined IITM only had the IBM 1620 computer, where we would submit our program decks. The next day, the machine language decks would be given to us, which were again resubmitted and then the next day, the day after that, the actual outputs were given to us. If we wanted our results a little faster, we were allowed to submit our programs to the IMD computer, and there was a third option. We could send our decks to TIFR Bombay through a peon who would go by the early morning Deccan Queen, submit our programs and bring back our outputs by the evening Deccan Queen, and early morning next day as we reached office, our outputs were with us to start for analysis. All the senior scientists were very helpful and always ready to share their knowledge and experience with us young scientists. One thing that I have to mention about the working environment in the IITM was that irrespective of whether we were a male scientist or a female scientist, we were all given equal opportunities. Yet, in very unobtrusive ways, the senior scientists were very empathetic towards the lady scientists as regards some of the struggles that we had to face as being ladies. The male and female scientists were treated on the same footing and were appreciated, and we were all appreciated for our work, irrespective of whether we were a lady scientist or a male scientist. In 1982, I had registered for PhD and my topic of research was solar and lunar influences on the atmospheric electric field of the Earth. It was a very a bit of a controversial topic, but a very exciting and interesting one. And the study that I had undertaken was the first of its kind to be done in the tropical regions. I received immense guidance and support from Dr. A. Mary Selvam throughout the period of my research. I was finally awarded my PhD in 1990. It was a great and proud moment for me and my family. Along with the PhD work, I was working with Dr. R. Vijay Kumar to develop one of a kind of a portable instrument to measure the total ozone using the visible spectrum. The paper that we published regarding the making of the instrument and the data that we had collected and how it compared with the Dobson spectrophotometer, which was considered to be the ultimate in total ozone measurements, is a paper which has been cited for many years, very widely cited for many years internationally. Later on, we both used to take a lot of field trips using this portable instrument and published a lot of papers on that with that data. In the later years, I have also worked with Dr. D.B. Jadhav, who was developing an in situ ozone spectrometer. Okay, I also had the good fortune of working with Dr. B.K. Mukherjee. In PMA division, I have collaborated with Dr. Mrs. Morwal in the boundary layer project, Dr. Mrs. Kandalgaonkar and Mrs. Kulkarni from the atmospheric electricity project. Dr. Mrs. Naik and Dr. Mrs. K. Indira were also in PMA division. We lady scientists were always very supportive of each other. Though I have worked in many different projects, it gave me a better overall understanding of the subject and meteorology as a whole. Due to personal reasons, I had to take voluntary retirement from the institute in May 2000. At that time, I was working as senior scientific officer, grade 2. My years in IITM really instilled the scientific temper in me. I made great friends, and those friendships have continued through the years, even after I left the institute, and I am friends with all my colleagues even to date. There was great camaraderie among the scientists, junior or senior, of the various departments, and there was free sharing of knowledge between the scientists, which was beneficial to all. Since I left the institute, it has been one of my pet projects to explain to the lay people the intricacies of weather, climate and its prediction, and the hurdles and problems that we face when we do the forecasting. Also, I try to clarify some of the misconceptions about weather, climate and their prediction, especially the enigmatic Indian monsoon. I take this opportunity to thank all my colleagues of those days of my working years at the IITM, and today I also take the opportunity to extend warm wishes and good wishes to all who are working in the IITM, doing great work and carrying the institute's name higher and higher, nationally and internationally. Thank you.